All right, well, I appreciate it. Wow. I've never seen that.
Yes. Where's the state? Yes, go ahead and put them in line. And I believe Attorney DeLeon is out in the hallway. Could someone let him know to come in? Thank you. Yeah, let him know. I said 9:15.
Judge, the fence is
No.
ready to go, but I don't see the state.
Yes. Would you bring the jury in?
Well, they're coming.
Conversations.
Sorry, Judge.
What? Yes, we are. Okay.
Bring them in, Judge.
Yes.
All right, to the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
Your Honor, we call Madison Guetta.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that members of the jury and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Madison Garrett.
State.
Ms. Guerra, can you tell the jury where do you work?
I work for the San Antonio Police Department as a crime scene investigator.
And can you move that mic just a little bit closer to your mouth? I'm sorry about that. I just want to make sure, so it's, speaking to the jury, but the court reporter is taking everything I can say, so for purposes of the record. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. And how long have you been with SAPD?
About 3 years now.
And what kind of, what's your job title there?
I am a civilian crime scene investigator.
And do you have specialized training to do that job?
We go through 400 hours of classroom training and then a month of supervised ride-alongs.
And what kind of things do you learn to do in your training?
The collection, preservation, identification of evidence.
And were you working on February 21st, 2022?
Yes,
And did you respond to a shooting scene that day?
yes,
Did you make a report as part of your duties that day?
Yeah.
Do you have that report with you?
Yeah.
Would it help you to have that in front of you to refresh your recollection?
yeah.
I'm gonna approach with what I'm gonna mark as State's Exhibit 54. You'll refer to this, just don't read directly from it, okay?
Okay.
So what's the first thing you did when you responded that, well, first of all, where did you respond that day?
I responded to the shooting scene at the Mariposa, and it was a 818 Mariposa.
Okay, and what's the first thing you did when you got out there?
I spoke with one of the detectives on the scene, Detective Arriaga, and he kind of walked me through the crime scene and showed me what was there and what had been reported to happen.
And when you get out to a scene like that, what's the first thing you do?
I walk through the scene and do my initial crime scene search and see what items of evidence are there at the scene.
And do you mark those items of evidence?
Yes, I mark them with numbered placards.
Numbered placards, okay. And then what do you do next?
I did a crime scene sketch of the scene.
Okay, and in this case, how many sketches did you do?
I did 4 total.
I have copies for those, so I'm gonna approach you with here in a moment. I'm showing you what I've just marked as State's Exhibit 55. Can you tell the jury what that is?
It's a crime scene sketch of the scene, including the parking lot area and the street.
Okay, and did you make this diagram?
Yeah,
Does this fairly and accurately depict the objects as you saw on that day?
yes.
And can you tell us what is State's Exhibit 56?
It's another sketch. It's of the inside of the gas station.
Can you tell me what is State's Exhibit 57?
Another sketch. It's of the street view and the house right next to the gas station.
And can you tell me what is State's Exhibit 58?
Sketch. It's of the 818 Mariposa location, the house right across the street from the gas station.
And did you prepare all these diagrams?
Yes,
Do they fairly and accurately depict the objects as you saw them that day?
yes.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 55, 56, 57, and 58.
Yeah, we have no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 55, 56, 57, and 58 are admitted without objections. Can I have parties approach, please? Yes, please. And we're not on the record. All right, you may continue, State.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And so when we met earlier this week, did you help me arrange exhibits 55, 56, 57, and 58 as they appeared to you that day? So that they match up geographically?
Yes,
And is that what I've just marked as, or what I'm right now marking as State's Exhibit 59?
yes.
And are these diagrams that you make, are they to scale?
No, they're not to scale.
Okay, and can you tell me what is State's Exhibit 59?
It's, the sketch is oriented kind of like the aerial view of how the location looked that day.
Okay, and so that's how State's Exhibits 55, 56, 57 to 58, how they relate to each other.
Yes,
Okay, and you prepared all these sketches.
yes.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 59.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, State's Exhibit number 59, and just for clarification of the record, State's Exhibits 57, I'm sorry, 55 through 58, those are separate exhibits numbers, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So each 55, yes, they're separate exhibits, but 50.
And then they're not included on State's Exhibit 59, correct?
They are included on 59. This is those exhibits just kind of arranged how they laid out.
All right, off the record for a moment. This is the clarification the court is trying to understand. State's Exhibits 55, 56, 57, and 58, those are separate. You've marked those, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And 59 is State's Exhibits 55, 56, 57, and 58 in a different format on State's Exhibit 59.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I just wanted the record to be clear for that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, State's Exhibit then 59 is admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And then, well, after you made the sketch, what did you do next?
After I made the sketch, then I collected the items of evidence at the scene.
Okay, and you brought that with you yesterday and checked it in the court reporter, is that right?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury, did you collect any shell casings that day?
Yes.
And on your report, how many shell casings did you collect?
I believe it was 12.
And did you bring those with you?
Yes.
Can you, don't show them to the jury yet, but can you pull out the shell casings? And can you mark these? Okay, I'm showing you what I've just marked as State's Exhibit 60. Can you, without showing the jury, can you look at that and tell me what that is?
Yes, it's been shell casing that I collected.
Okay, and what about, can you tell me what about 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, and 71? Can you
Yes.
tell me what these are?
They're all spent shell casings.
Okay. And so, yes, sir, yeah. And so did you collect all these?
Yes,
And what caliber shell casings are these?
they're 40 caliber.
Okay, and Your Honor, at this time, I offer States Exhibit 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, and 71.
Any objection?
Was that 60 through 71?
Yes.
Yes.
No, no objection, Your Honor.
All right, States Exhibit 60 through 71 is admitted without objection.
Hey, could you open the packaging for States Exhibit 60 and show the jury what does the shell casing look like?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's a 40 caliber, right?
Yes,
And so these other shell casings, States Exhibit 61 through 71, will they look similar to that?
yes.
And if we can look at our diagram here, this is, I'm going to show you I've marked as States Exhibit 55.
Mhm.
And if you can refer to your States Exhibit 55 and also your report, I'm going to hold up the diagram to the jury here. Can you tell me where did you find these shell casings?
In the.
You're able to
parking-
step down,
Yeah, that's probably better. Could I have you step down? I'm going to hold
and
this up.
defense, you're able to move about. The court reporter can hear. Thank you.
Okay, so we're looking at States Exhibit 59. And so where did you find the shell casings when you did your search that day?
In the parking lot of the location.
Okay. And so that's, you're pointing sort of on this one, right?
Yes, right here.
And then did you find any shell casings over here?
Yes,
Okay,
it was throughout the street and the parking lot.
okay. And so can you give the jury kind of a better idea of the layout of the scene that day? Like, what are we looking at?
This is the convenience store, and then in this sketch, it just shows the inside of the convenience store. This is the parking lot on the side of it, and then the street, and then down this way is the vehicle involved, and then there was a trash can here with evidence inside of there as well, and then across the street, this is the other location where one of the seats was located.
Okay, thank you. Can you take your seat again and we're gonna talk about some more evidence and collecting. Did you collect any firearms that day?
Yes.
Okay, and can you, without showing the jury, can you bring out item of evidence E11? Okay, so that's E11.
Yes.
And what's in E11?
A firearm.
Okay. So I'm gonna mark this bag as States Exhibit 72. Okay, and so what kind of firearm is in the envelope that I've marked as States Exhibit 72?
That's gonna be a Ruger,
Uh-huh,
a
and
handheld, a handgun.
okay, and did you recover the handgun yourself? Did you collect that item of evidence?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna mark that as States. I'm so sorry, Judge. I'm gonna mark that as States Exhibit 72A. And without showing this to the jury, is this the handgun that you collected that day?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna show you what I've just marked as 72B. Can you, without showing the jury, can you tell me what's in 72B?
It's the magazine with the live round bullets that were found inside of it.
And did you recover the magazine in those rounds?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I offer States Exhibit 72A and States Exhibit 72B and the contents of 72B.
Judge, we have no objection.
All right, 72A and 72B and contents are admitted. And if you'll let the deputy check the weapon, please.
Can I publish this, Your Honor?
Yes.
So this is one of the handguns you recovered that day, right?
Yes.
Okay, and where did you recover this from?
From the recycling bin in the street.
Okay, and so this handgun was in there along with the magazine and the live rounds?
Yes.
So this is the magazine that you recovered also?
Yes.
Can you check your report? How many live rounds went along with that 72A?
There was 14 live rounds.
Okay, and can you hold up one of these live rounds and just show the jury what that looks like? Thank you. Okay, and can you, without showing the jury, can you pull out item of evidence number E11? I'm gonna mark this envelope as 73, States Exhibit 73. And without pulling these items out, can you tell me what's in States Exhibit 73?
It's another handgun with a magazine and then the live round and painted round was found within the firearm.
Okay, and so I'm gonna mark, and did you recover these items?
Yes.
And where did you recover them from?
From the same recycling bin in the street.
Okay, and I'm gonna mark the handgun as 73A and the magazine is 73B. Your Honor, I offer States Exhibit 73A and 73B. And I will tender to the defense for their inspection.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, States Exhibit 73A and 73B are admitted without objection.
Can I post these, Your Honor?
Yes.
So Ms. Guerra, did you also recover this handgun from the same place you recovered this handgun?
Yes.
And remind us, where was that?
In the recycling bin in the street.
And then was this the magazine that you recovered with this handgun?
Yes.
Can you pull out without showing to the jury item 11B? I'm gonna mark this envelope. States Exhibit 74. Can you tell me what's in this envelope? What's in States Exhibit 74?
Another handgun with the magazine and live rounds.
And did you collect these items?
Yes,
And where did you collect them from?
from the same recycling bin.
So I'm gonna mark this handgun as States Exhibit 74A. The magazine is States Exhibit 74B. Your Honor, I offer States Exhibit 74A and B.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, States Exhibit 74A and 74B are admitted without objection.
Can I publish these, Your Honor?
Yes.
So this is the other handgun found in that trash can?
Yes,
Okay. And this is the magazine, 74B is the magazine that went along with that.
yes.
And would you mind stepping down again and showing the jury on the diagram where that trash can was in relation to everything else?
It's right here in front of the vehicle.
Okay, and just to remind the jury, where did you find the shell casings?
The shell casings were right here in the parking lot and in the street. And then just down the street a little bit in front of the vehicle, there was a fully recycled bin where the guns were thrown.
One of those blue, like City of San Antonio. All right, thank you. Please take your seat. And then on your report, did you what are items E13, 14, and 15?
Those are bullet fragments and projectiles recovered from the scene
Okay, and where were they recovered from?
from the convenience store.
Okay. And then what about items E20 and E21?
Those are also bullet projectiles
And where were those collected from?
from the house across the street.
Okay, and what about items E18 and E19?
Those are also projectiles and fragments.
And you collected those as well?
Yes.
Okay, and then did you do anything else besides collect this evidence?
At the scene, no. Then I left the scene and went back to the office to finish processing.
Okay, and so can you walk the jury through that? How do you process the evidence after you collect it and you take it back to the property?
I searched for latent prints and I swab for potential DNA. And then I package up all of the evidence afterwards.
And what kind of swabs did you do?
They're just sterile biological swabs, just swapped onto each item of evidence to collect any possible trace evidence or DNA evidence.
Thank you so much. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Can I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero, my name is Michael DeLeon. I represent Oscar Martinez. Got a few questions for you. You collected 12 .40 caliber shell casings at the scene, correct?
Yes,
Kind of near the dumpster area and then also the street, correct?
yes,
Okay. I noticed in your report, you listed as .40 caliber Smith & Wesson S&W, correct?
yes,
And then after that, there's different types of identifiers called CBC, Federal, S&B, and which is the last one? RP, I think.
yes.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury what is CBC, Federal, S&B, and RP?
It's the head stamps on the shell casings are different brands.
Okay, different brands. Now, if you have let's ask him simple question. .40 caliber gun. Can it fire any brand of a .40 caliber bullet?
Yes,
Okay. So you can have a federal, you can have 6 federal bullets in a 40 caliber gun and have 3 CBC 40 caliber bullets and 2 S&B bullets in the same gun, correct?
As long as they're the same caliber,
Yes. And
Yes.
here we have all 40 caliber, correct?
yes.
Okay, so there's no unless you tell me different, is there any way to know which bullets came from what gun? If they're both 40 caliber?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, so on E11. You see E11 in your report there?
Yes,
The Ruger SR40,
yes,
this weapon, correct?
yes,
Okay. Inside of here was a magazine, which holds 14 rounds and 1 in the chamber, correct?
yes,
That would be a fully loaded weapon.
yes,
And you found this in the blue recycling bin,
yes.
and essentially it was a fully loaded gun, correct?
It had 14 live rounds and then 1 in the magazine.
Is there any way for you to know at the scene or sometime there later if this weapon had been fired that day?
That would not be to my knowledge. I would not know.
So as far as we know, this was a fully loaded weapon that was left at the scene,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Now, with E11A, which is the Glock 40, this, however, had only 1 live round in the magazine, correct?
That was which one? The Glock?
The Glock 40.
Yes, I had one live round and 1 round in the chamber.
Okay, so not a fully loaded gun, potentially a gun that had been fired multiple times because there's not that many bullets in it. There's only 2 left.
That would not.
Compared to it being fully loaded, it would have 15 total.
Yes.
And then on the 38 caliber, does this eject shell casings when it's fired?
It should.
Okay, did you find any shell casings for a 38?
No.
Okay. And this particular one had 3 live rounds in the magazine,
Yes.
and it can hold to how many bullets on a 38 caliber?
That was an extended magazine. I don't have the count number on that magazine.
If I show it to you, does that help at all?
If only if it had an indication number on it. If it doesn't have an indication number, I have no way of knowing how many the extended magazine can hold.
You're the expert. I'm gonna show you States Exhibit 74B. Does that tell you anything?
No, there's no numbers on it that indicate how many it can hold.
Okay, so with the extended clip, can you tell the jury what is an extended clip?
It's a magazine that holds more than the retail magazine.
Okay. And in this particular magazine, you only found 3 live rounds,
Yes.
and was there 1 in the chamber?
No,
Okay. But no 38 caliber shell casings were found at the scene.
no.
Now, the Beer King convenience store, it had some bullets that went into the store, correct?
Yes.
Do you know how many roughly?
From inside the location,
Uh-huh.
I believe it was around 5 that I collected.
Okay. So 5 bullets went into the convenience store and into the home across the street, there were at least 3 bullet holes. Would that be correct?
I Two of them were found inside and one was found outside.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit about these three weapons that you have here, that you recovered from the blue recycling bin. You look for fingerprints on those three weapons, correct?
Yes.
And tell the jury, how did you look for fingerprints? What's the process involved?
Using a single-use black powder and a single-use, one-time use brush to dust for latent prints on the weapons.
Okay. And did you have, what were the results of doing the, looking for fingerprints on those three weapons?
I did not find any.
Okay. Does that tell you anything when you don't see fingerprints based on your training experience?
No, it's based on item by item. We're gonna find a print on any one item.
Okay. That's all I have for you, Ms. Guerra. Thank you very much. Pass the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excused from the statement.
She's excused, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
We approach, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a slightly early break right now because there are some matters that I need to take up outside your presence. It's unrelated to this case. It is unexpected, something that was placed unexpectedly on the docket. So I'm going to have you all come back at 11. I know that's a long break, but the way both parties have told me what they expect of when the case will end, it will still end on the same day that both parties wanted me to let you know, okay? So please remember my previous instructions. You're not allowed to discuss what you've heard with anyone else. You're not allowed to discuss what you've heard with each other. You're not to internally think about this case and start deliberating in your own mind or deliberating with each other. Make sure your badges are always visibly displayed in case there are attorneys or other people talking about this case. They'll know that you're a juror and they won't speak around you. Do not do any research. Do not view any type of media. Does everyone understand? All right. So what will end up happening is just make sure you're back in the jury room by 11. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your patience.
All right, for the jury.
We're off the record. All right, everyone, please be seated. And we're not on the record. So what is happening is, as everyone is aware, one of the judge's mothers has passed. And so I know that they're having services beginning at 10. And some people who didn't have a chance to go to, I'm sorry, I'm Baptist, I think it's called Mass last night, which I attended the Mass. Some people didn't have a chance to go to the Mass. So they wanted to go over to San Fernando Cathedral to pay their respects. So that's why we're breaking. And I didn't want to bring it up because this is the murder case. And although I don't know that they would equate the two, I just didn't want anyone to sort of try to equate the two. So I'm going to let the court reporter leave to go do that. And then we'll come back at 11. And I'll say 11-ish. Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
If we can, does she need to leave right now or can we check?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're starting at 10.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we'll just gather up the evidence for her and then we'll come back at 11.